now. Okay, we're going live. Whee! Welcome everyone to this Zoom and Facebook Live Q&A session for short film submissions for the Flow Festival. Yay! I'm Danny and I'm the creative producer for the Flow Festival. And we have the amazing, hi, I'm Sam. And I'm involved in marketing for the Flow Festival. Yay, thanks, Sam. So before we go on, I'd like to acknowledge all the countries that we are meeting on tonight for the First Nations people. We're joining from very different lands where we work, learn, play, make art. And you can see in my name section there, I'm from Durrock in Parramatta. That's where I work and play and learn there. But tonight I'm with my family. So I'm in the Bidjigal country where I'm sitting tonight of the Eora Nation. So I acknowledge all those elders, past and present, and those emerging. And if we have anyone that's First Nations joining us this evening, I'd like to acknowledge you and pay our respects to you all. This was never ceded land. It was stolen. It always was, always will be their land, not my land, their land. And also I'd like to acknowledge the deaf elders, our deaf pioneers who have lobbied and taken us on the journey to inspire the deaf community and advocate for our community. We are still advocating and carrying the torch on as they have been leading the way for those past, present and emerging deaf leaders in our country. Nice. It's a really nice feeling, a warm feeling to make those acknowledgements and to reflect on all those deaf elders who have really worked hard in our community in Australia. Yeah. Sam is also saying that I like to acknowledge where we have the First Nations land, and the deaf recognition is always really important. We always do that. So for the Flow Festival, we're very proud to acknowledge both our First Nations and our deaf pioneers as well. And Danny's saying in particular, you might see me with a different background this evening at my family's home, and I'm very lucky because there's a deaf artist, deaf artist's work sitting behind me, so it feels really special and very much linked to the Flow Festival. The deaf artist's work is Stefan Cater. He's very much a Sydney-based Eora Nation artist. So it feels very exciting to have a deaf artist's work behind me tonight as I'm presenting. So we shall keep going. I think I've covered everything. Yes, says Sam. Okay, so why are we here tonight? It's a Q&A for short film submissions for the Flow Festival. We want more beautiful, creative films in the Flow Festival. Some of you maybe are a little uncertain and about what that means, so we wanted to explain. So please do have a look at our website, the Flow Festival Australia website. You will see opportunities, and there's two. One is a grants expression of interest, and the second one is short film submissions. On the short film submissions there, it has more information, and I will go through that tonight with you. It's about 1 to 3 minutes, the information on the website. And so those who submit a short film will be paid an artist fee. If it's a new work, never seen before, unique, you'll be paid more. If it's a short film that's been previously made and been shown in other places, the artist will still be paid, but it will be a lesser amount. So the deadline for the submissions was this last week, but now it's been extended right up until the 5th of August. So if you want to make a film, what are you waiting for? Start tomorrow. Get onto it. Yes. So we want to encourage everyone to submit short films for the Flow Festival. And Sam's saying, with the Flow Festival, what type of short films we're looking for? Yes, certainly. The theme for this year is Deaf Space for the Flow Festival. So anything goes, anything. What deaf space means to you. If you're deaf or hard of hearing and you're an artist, what do you want to say about that? What do you want to say? How do you want to say it? Maybe you want to do Auslan poetry. You can film that and submit it to showcase that. Maybe you want to do some visual vernacular, beautiful theatre movement. You can submit that. Or maybe you want to do something really out there and have different scenes that you edit in a creative way, maybe trees and birds and anything, your heart, anything, whatever, anything goes. Anything you want to express and convey, you can submit. But think about what you want to say and then how you want to portray that. And Sam is saying that deaf space, it's really not just a physical space. Deaf and hard of hearing space is what's inside us. What is our space? How do we take that on? What's our identity? In my life, my space, my expression, all of those things. Maybe you want to make a film to show respect to a particular person, a day in the life of ... Film them, follow them, a documentary type film, and then do some creative editing, make it look interesting. That would be awesome. Does it have to be really highly produced, high quality film with lighting and makeup and everything? No, it doesn't have to be like that at all. Sam is saying you could film it on your phone if you want to, or make an iMovie. And we can give you some tips and hints how to make films as well. Like the Facebook Live now, we can actually add Q&A and comments and then go back to that and film it with your phone. Please do it landscape, not portrait, because our protection screen isn't going to be in portrait frame. It will be landscape, like a TV or a movie theatre. It'll be landscape, so not portrait. Yeah, because it'll have too much black on the sides and we'll miss half of it. So you can use your phone, your iPhone, your friend's phone. You can use anything to film your short film. Ask a friend to help. There's some tips. The film in natural light is a good idea. For example, if you're outside or if you're inside and it's in the evening, of course, you might want to, have a bit extra lighting, like we have here now with us. Danny's saying, I've just got all the lights on. It's plenty of light to be filming. It does make a big difference, a bit of lighting, so it's worth to consider just to make sure the atmosphere is right. And also, another tip, if you're filming a person and you're doing, try not to jiggle it around too much. Perhaps if you could use a tripod or something to hold it still, like a selfie stick or something. Yeah, this one's a professional one. Or, there are plenty of setups like using some old books to stand it on, or if you're using a laptop, you can support your phone on that, or if you're doing a visual vernacular story, think about the background, what you're going to be standing in front of or performing in front of. So, yeah, like Danny's tonight got interesting colours, quite bright colours. So it depends what you're trying to portray, the message that you want to send. But make sure, you consider what your focus is. Maybe a plain background is more appropriate, or you could use a wall or something interesting outside. Just be creative and go for it. Just use your creativity. Definitely, Sam. An example, if you go and see, if you saw the Flow Festival last year, some of my work there, I did submitted some Auslan poetry, and with the being creative, I used the light from the TV, so I had a bit of a glow, and that helped. So you can play around with ideas about lighting and see what works. You've got 2 months, so you've got plenty of time to think about it and be creative, and then how to edit. We can use iMovie or any app really that you can, any kind of video editing software. I'm not very experienced at that, but I know there are online, and there are plenty of examples. Many people have Apple phones, iPhones. That's fine. You can just do that, and you can edit it and swap bits and pieces around. What we're looking for is your creativity, how you can express that, what you want to say about deaf space, what you select to portray, a beautiful selection of clips perhaps. Saturday night, the 10th of September, we're going to be showing the films at Northcote Town Hall at the Arts Centre there in Melbourne. And it will be shown on a really big screen there, and part of a public event in the evening there. We'll be showing there. Imagine that. It's so exciting. And we're also really keen. We want to see if we can have them available online as well. So that would be great. So we're working on that as well. So it would be amazing if we could show your work all around Australia. That would be incredible. Wow, it certainly would. It's very exciting, Sam said. I think with the editing, maybe people might not know how to edit, but you can play around with timing. You can make things like slow or fast, doing VV. I'm not particularly, like with the computer, you can play around with that, making it faster or slower. And you can get some technical support, a little bit of a cheat, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, that's right, Sam. You can crop things and make it look different, add colours. You could do it in black and white, or fade from colour to black and white, or the other way around. I think the best video last year was from Kirk, and wow, that was a lot of black and white. It really had a big impact. Yes, Danny said, oh, I really loved that. It was very simple, with expression and a few signs, black background. That was it. But the creativity was there. And I think that's what you want to say. Think about what you want to say and how you want to portray that. Yeah. I think that might have covered off everything. Oh, yes, the form. Yes, we want to talk about the form. So we have a form online. We've had a few issues with that. Yeah, the first time I've tried it, I haven't done it before, so it's a bit of a learning curve for me. So I know there's been a few issues. One question was about the identity. You could click on that and it will drop down. Yes, that's right. It was only one. But we want to have the opportunity to recognise people's multiple identities. People sometimes don't identify as just one group. And so there was a few issues. So we weren't able to select more than one. But we did put other. Yeah, you can click other and type in your own identity, whatever you'd like to acknowledge. So if you use other, so yeah, and just type in your identity, the things, yeah. For example, if I wanted to say different, I could click other, and that means I'm a special person, and I want to type in that I'm deaf, I'm queer, and I'm a woman. Yeah, exactly. That's right, Danny, exactly. And we just want to make sure that we acknowledge people's diversity, and we want to celebrate that with the Flow Festival. I think the other issue was linked to the video, the size. So we've changed it now. We want to clarify. There's a URL that you can upload. You can copy and paste it, copy and paste the URL. And the URL is your video, whatever space it is sitting in. It might be in Google Drive, for example. The URL, please make sure you change your settings. So the link, for anyone with the link, and then you copy that link and you put it into the form or Dropbox or YouTube or whatever you want, any particular where you want it sitting, and then you copy and then you pick your film. And what happens next then? Then if we select your film, we'll be in touch. We'll gather all the submissions. We won't actually view all of them. The other thing with the form, it's important with the online form. It means that you can type in English or you can submit in Auslan. And there was a question about signing. If you want to just sign your answers to the criteria, and have it in Google Drive or again a URL, YouTube, whatever, wherever it's sitting. And if people have difficulty with that, with the size, it could be too big, and that's why we decided the URL might be better. Another issue was that people couldn't open it because yes, that's right. Yeah, so we've changed that now to resolve that issue as well. Yay, well done, Sam. It's good to be able to solve problems and get that working. So now the form is ready to go. So we'll see how the submissions come in. So Danny's saying you can choose either way. You can either type in the name and populate the form, or you can just upload a URL of an Auslan submission. That's correct, Danny. Yes, that's right. So you can do it either way. Okay, so you can type in English and fill out the online form, give us a bit of a synopsis about what your short film is about. Or if you're really not comfortable in doing that in English, but you can fill out the form and upload that, the URL for your Auslan video submission, YouTube, whatever, and explain your film. And then it's easy, okay? Oh, also, it's maybe worthwhile to clarify with the film, it does need to be captioned. Oh, if there is any dialogue or particular sound that needs to be captioned. When you submit your video, the short film, you mean, Sam? The questions that have been asked about the video. For the submission, it doesn't need to be captioned. The short film that you submit will need to be captioned if there's dialogue. If it's in Auslan, there's no need to have captions, only if there's spoken dialogue or some sound that needs to be captioned. And that's your responsibility to do that. And we'll remind you and make sure that the final one is captioned properly. Yes, make sure it is before it's shown on the big screen, and we'll work with you. So that's really exciting. We hope to receive so many film submissions. I'm very excited. Sam's wondering, if I made a film last year that was part of the Flow Festival, could I submit that again and maybe improve it or add some new ideas to it? Really, we want to encourage your creativity. Remember, next year's a larger 3-day Flow Festival. So maybe we're going to have some oldies, maybe some golden oldies. I'm going to try and convince my brother. He made 2 short films a long time ago, and I love them. My gosh, he made them almost 20 years ago. probably 18 years ago, really. It was a very long time. So they are absolutely beautiful films, homemade films. You can imagine the technology, the software editing and things, but it was really creative. And I'd really like to see those, the old ones, shown again because they look really good. And last year there were lots of selected films. Kurt's video, that film, it's really worthwhile to see that again. So we're very, very keen though to get those older short films be shown again. But for this year, we need to get new submissions. So we're very excited. So get your thinking caps on, think about what films you're going to make. And, if you haven't made it, go ahead and send in your submission. Yep, you can. And you need to have it done by the 5th of August. If it hasn't been finished, well, we won't be able to show it in this year's Flow Festival. But please continue working on your vision, your ideas. It's really important. Some people have really great film experience and breadth and, but we really can't have long videos. We do have to have short films. So they'll just have to be edited down. And so if they're a long film that hasn't been shown in the Flow Festival, why not? We could do a trailer this year and then show the full feature next year. Yep. That's a brilliant idea. And the film also could be in Singapore, New Zealand, other submissions as well. Yes, definitely. Many people overseas, not just in Australia, have been asking for grants. They've been applying for grants. So that's great. So anything, anywhere in the world, really, come on, we can do this. As I was saying before, for those who perhaps didn't see me say this, that Sam and I are actually going to France to the Deaf Arts Festival there. And the name is Clic d'Oreille, the festival in Reims, France. So that's very exciting. I'm so looking forward to that and networking with people and promoting the Flow Festival to the world. It will be so exciting. So who knows? It may become an international Flow Festival. Who knows? Dream big, go for it, I always say. And when are you going, Danny? In 3 days' time. I haven't even packed yet. Oh my goodness. That's very exciting. I'm going to meet you there, Danny, and we can film to show people the experience we're having there as well. So people will be able to see. That'll be really interesting, I think. Oh, yes. So do we have any questions to answer in the chat? We'll just take a few minutes and allow people to pop in some questions. For those on Zoom, if you want to ask a question in Auslan, you can pop your camera on or type it in the chat in Zoom, either way. My family are watching Facebook Live and they said they haven't seen any questions come up there. That's right, Sam's saying. If people do have any questions later, please feel free to contact us at any time before the 5th of August. You can contact us via Facebook, Instagram, or on the website, the email. Yes, there'll be comments on when we post on the video. You can actually put your questions or directly contact us. Contact me, no problem at all. Well, gosh, the time's run out already. Gosh, that went very quickly. Any last things to wrap up or reminders to tell anyone, Danny? Well, my favourite quote, be creative. That's the last thing I want to say. Think about what you want to say, then think about how you're going to express that. How will you portray it? I think that's perfect way to wrap up this evening. Thanks, Danny. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. Looking forward to seeing all your creative ideas soon. Bye now.